Okay, it's 6 o'clock on the East Coast. So let's get started on our class. Last week, we learned about random and Boolean value. And we spend most of the time on the Boolean value. And we talk about Boolean value is very important and it's for decision in our code. So we tried a different expression. So now let's do a review on it. I just have 2 review questions. So let me share my screen to you. Okay, so let's forget this one because I think I did not talk about too much on it for the random, but let's do this one. So what is the value will it be if we run this expression? Is it a true or is it a false? April.
I don't know.
Just take a guess. You have 50% of chance to be right.
True.
That is true. So you are 100% right now. So why it is true? Yeah, it's good. It's good. So just take a guess. Why it is true? Because we said if we use a BOOL, the bool function, as long as there is a content in it, it will be evaluated to true. For numbers, if it is not 0, then it will be true. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3 here. So that's why you will get a true. So how about this one? Who can volunteer and answer? This is an expression, which is a Boolean expression. Yes, Alexia.
Is it true too?
There is. And can you tell me why?
I'm not sure how to explain.
Okay, pattern.
Because 45 is greater than 23, and that's true. And bool and 0 is false, but or means if one's true, then it's true together.
You're correct. Yes. And that we said if we use or, if either side is true, the final result is true. And we also said if this is evaluated to true, the system will even not bother to evaluate that one. It will just skip it. If this is true, and if it's an or here, it will just go to use true. So it will not bother to calculate that one. It will not evaluate. So if you use or, if either side of it is true, it is true. Great. All right. So let's learn new thing. So today we are going to learn a very important thing, and that is a string. String actually is the most important data type in all programming languages. So we say string is a data type, just like an integer being a data type. So what is a string? And we will see the examples. How do we get a string? You just use quotes. Okay. If you include some text in the quotes, and we call that a string. create a string is as simple as assigning a value to a variable. All right, so today we're going to use a new tool, and I'm not asking you guys to use your own Python. So let's just try this. Okay, so can you all go to the website? So type in Colab. Okay, so let me give you this URL so you can use it. And then if you missed it, things in the previous weeks, let's just forgot it. Last week, Boolean, we will come back to learn it again when we get into decision. But today, let's treat this as the beginning of the series of programming basics. Okay, so you can start from today, and that's still good. All right, go to that website. So let me do that as well. And then if you get an interface like this, you do not need to do anything. Just click on New Notebook. So this is a Google tool that is built on Jupyter Notebook. The Jupyter Notebook is very famous and very convenient for beginners. Of course, not just beginners. A lot of developers using it, and it is very useful. And then when we get into advanced Python development, we need to use another tool. But today, let's just use this one. So are you all with me? Do you get to this website and have an interface like this?
I don't see that.
You don't see that? Do you have your browser? Do you want to share what you have? Share your screen to me. You need to go to a website. Okay. So you are good. You just need to, okay, if you do not have that, let me just help you. You are good. You are on that website. So can you stop sharing? All right. So if you are on that is right. You just go to File. Okay. Click on New Notebook. And that's it. Okay. So here, so this will be the place for us to type in code. All right, so first let's just do something very simple, okay? So we are going to learn string. So you just type in hello world using single quote, and type in hello world using double quotes, okay? And then just do that. You just say hello world. And you can also use double quotes. Hello world. Okay, both are fine, but you cannot mix them. So if you start with double quotes and you say hello world, and then you end it using single quote, you will have a problem. So what problem you will have, let's just run it. See how to run it. I want you to look at my screen, and actually just click on this start button, okay? It will connect the Python environment provided by Google. Okay, you see the first two lines are good, and then it tells us this line is wrong. It is wrong. You cannot mix them. So if you start with the double quotes, then you need to end it using double quotes. If you started using single quote, then you need to end it using single quote. You cannot start a single quote and end using double quotes. Keep that in your mind. We just create a string this way. But as a developer, we wanted to use a variable, right? So how do I use a variable? You just assign this value to a variable. So let's say x equal to hello world. Okay. So in the Python, how do we do output? You just use a print function. You will say print x. Then now let's run this code. You see the print out hello world. That's easy, right? So just remember it. Now let's learn some tricks. Okay. So you see, if you do this, doesn't, and you see you have a single quote here, and then you have a single quote over there. And if you assign this to x, what will happen? So let's just try this, okay? So let me just try. Let me just make a x. Doesn't. Right? Just like that. Let me run the code again. You see the prints out doesn't. And we said, if you start with a single quote, you close with single quote. So it is supposed to close your string here. And then why, it outputted the apostrophe here. Why? Because we have a very special character here, the backslash, right? So the backslash in Python, it means a special character, and it has a purpose. What are the purpose? I will give you the website. We're going to read it. But before that, so let's just try to do this. So if you use double quotes, then you put a single quotes in it, it will not change that. That makes sense because I started with the double quotes, end with the double quotes. Everything between should be the string. So that works. So in the Python, because you can create a string using either a single quote or a double quotes, so you can have an advantage there. If you have an apostrophe there, you can create your string using double quotes. Then you put the apostrophe there. But let's just take a look at it. So what does that backslash mean? Backslash in a string, it has a special meaning, okay? If you use a backslash in new line, okay, it will be ignored, okay? If you use backslash in, you see here, it will create a new line. You use a backslash apostrophe, you get in a single quote. So you tell the system, that's a single quote I need to keep. I need to keep it. So I will keep that apostrophe in my string, okay? So if you wanted to try this, and then you can put in a backslash and other character in it and see the result, okay? So just keep this in your mind. Let me give you the URL so you can go to read it when you have time, okay? So this one. So let's get this URL, and if you wanted to read it, do some reading after the class, and then you can go. So you see this is a Python strings, Hawk Python strings, and that's specifically here. Okay, it talk about the backslash, the escape characters. So how do you escape it? And we will talk about more of this when we run into a special situation, like the path to your file. How do we do that? Usually you see in your Python, and if you need to get to a file, and we will see x equal to C drive temp folder, and then I will see my file .txt, right? If you do that, it will be a problem. What problem it will be? Let me just run it. You see what is printed out, what is actually stored in X. Let me print it out, just like that. So what does \t mean? \t, it give you a tab. Okay. So just keep this in your mind. You need to remember the \. If you put it in a string, it has a special meaning there, and that website will give you those information. All right. So let's move on then. And we say in Python, when you write your code, you do not have a terminating symbol. If you learn other programming language, usually for Java, if you put a semicolon there, and the semicolon will tell the system, this is the end of the statement. In Python, a hot return signals that the statement stops. So you just use the return, okay? That statement finish. If a statement is long and you want to write them in multiple lines, and you want to write it this / in the end of the line, this tells the system the next line is a continuation of the statement. So let me just try that. Okay, let me just do this, and I will say x is equal, this is a long, okay, put a / here, and then hit it and return a long line that occupies, okay, put a / here, multiple lines. Okay, all right. So now if I do that, and then if I run it, you see what will be printed out. You see it will print out all the text between these closing quotes and the starting quotes. So that / in the line, in the end of the line, tell the system my code has not ended. You need to read the next line. And when it run into another /, it will continue to read the next line until you do not have that. Then it will treat the whole thing as one statement. Python is executed by statement. Okay, statement by statement. So what is a statement? If it has a long line, then those multiple lines only form one statement because you have the / there. Okay, so remember that. So let's move on then. And I already have that, and I have that as well. Right, so now let's learn this thing, concatenation in string. Okay, I want every one of you type in this in your code. And this is very simple. It's just like you doing the calculation of numbers, right? So let me just come back here and replace all my code here. So let me just word equal to help, okay, plus. Yeah. So let's see what is a word. Let's print out a word. Let's run it. Help it. You just concatenate two strings together, right? Concatenate. So you concatenate two strings together. That's a very straightforward. Okay? But can you guys try this now? See what happens. Let me give this to you, see if you can, sorry. If you can get this code and run it. Okay, this doesn't work for me. So do this. You see word times 5, then plus. Okay. So now let's run this one, see what we got. You get something like this. This is very unique in Python. In other programming language, it should not happen. You are trying to do calculation between the string and the number, but Python makes it possible. So that's why we say Python is very powerful, because it makes the operation so easy. And you just, repeat a word 5 times. If you use it 2 times 5, you just repeat it 5 times. Okay. So you put them together, so you get that result. All right, so let's move on to the next topic then. And this is a very important topic, and we will use it through our data structure. So I will just do lecture here. So each character in a string has a position. The position value, we call it the index value. We say index. Index starts at 0. However, it can have a negative value. So what does it mean? You look at my screen. So if you have word help air here, the first character, the position is 0. Okay. But in the Python, it can have a negative value. So -1 index is always the last character in that string. So that's also unique in the Python. So it's very useful as well. If you wanted to get the last item, last character of a string, you just use the index value -1. You do not need to know how long the string is, and you can quickly, easily get it. And also it will help you to reverse your string, because every time you just pick the -1 from the string, and then pick the next -1, and then you do it that way, you reverse your string, right? So you say word -4, what is that value? Can you guys do this one? So let me show you how to do that. Okay, now I have word equal to help A. Okay, so let me just print out. Okay, or print out word square bracket 0, and you will see what it is. And then I will print out word square bracket -1. Okay, and then I will print out word -4. Then you will know what -4 is. So can anyone tell me what 0? What will we get? Ryan,
I got H.
you get H. That's correct. So how about word -1? What will you get? Hunter? Word -1. Take a guess. Okay. Alexia?
I got a capital A.
That's right. I just mentioned the -1 is the last item in the string. The last item, you see, this is a word. The last item is capital A. That's right. So what does you what do we get using -4? Yes, Hunter. E. Okay. So let's see. -4 is this position. Is E. You're right. So you say -1 get this one, -2 get that one, -3 get this one, the -4 is E. So I want you to have this in your mind, okay, now. For a string, every character in that string has a position. That position, we call it the index value. And the index value starts at 0. So that's why we see word 0, you get a capital H. And we also say the -1, you always get the last item. That's a capital A. Okay. You can try word 3, see what you get. See if you get a P or not. Just print out a word 3. You need to use square bracket because the square bracket is for index value. Okay, you see word square bracket. That is the index value. Okay. All right, so let's move on. You can use the index value to handle that to get the item. You can also use this method, or we see this function in string, and they say you have a word, and the index function will find the index value of this character. Okay, can you all try this? See what you get. Can you all try that? See what you get. And then I will ask you all. If anyone wants to volunteer, you can raise your hand. Okay, Patton.
I'm not done yet. I'm still writing it down.
Okay. Who get it done? Can you raise your hand? Okay, Alexia.
Do I just say the first one?
The first one, yes.
Okay, I got 3.
Yes. So that is exactly this value, right? That position, that index value. So that's why you use index. That you use the character, you will find it. So what does this one you got? Kathleen,
The number 2.
number 2. Okay. So you see the difference of this one. So this is one character. This actually itself is a string. You see, it's a substring. So actually, when it does this, it just uses your substring to scan the whole string from left to the right. Once it finds a perfect match, it stops there and find out the starting position of this substring. Here, the starting position is 2. So that's why you get a 2. All right, so can you tell me what you get here? What do you get? Yeah, Kathleen,
Error.
and you get an error because you cannot find the T in Word. And then now let me tell you the secret of Google. So if you try to search something, right? You search my favorite store, and then you put the name there. Google actually goes through all the websites and then search for that string. If it find a match, they remember that website, and then it pull it back and show that to you. And it found an occurrence of that string. So the government uses this a lot when they try to track a terrorist. Then they go to the website, they go to the airplane, passenger list, scan it, and they put the name in it. If it find a match, they will notify the airplane company and said, this guy cannot be allowed to board the airplane. So that's one of the skills we need to use. So this is you use the index. If you find it's not an arrow, that means there is a match. Okay, Patton, can you share your screen to me? Okay, the reason is that you say your variable is word, and now you use word. So you need to change the variable name. Okay, either way, yeah. Okay, all right, good. So you remember this actually is very powerful. This is a search tool. You search it. If you do not search it in the match, then it get an error. So how do you handle it? You do not want your application to have an error, right? So you just use this if it's true or not, something like that. It's a decision, and we will use that in the future, okay? Remember this function, and we are going to learn more about string. A substring can be specified using the slash notation. 2 indices separated by column, okay? So this is the starting position, this is the ending position, and it is not included. So we will see this is exclusive, okay? This is included, this one is not included. So that means you actually get 2 characters, so that means 0 and 1. 2 is excluded. So this is exclusive here. So you have, so try that, print out the word 02, see what you get. And then try another one. like this. See what you get. So let me do that as well. Okay, you can try whatever number you want to try. Let me just print out word. Okay, I was 2. This is a column, okay, and I use 4 and see what I got here. So I do not need those anymore. Let me just run this one. I got an error P. Let's come back to here, see if it's error P or not. 2 and 4, and we see 4 is exclusive. So 2, 3, that's error P. So that's right. Okay. All right. So if you do that, now let's just do a lazy one. So what is a lazy one? You see here I have the column and I use 2. I do not put a 0 there. Now here I have 2. I do not put a number on the right hand side. See what you get and why it works. The reason it works is that if you do not put a number on the left hand side, it will use 0. That's the default value. So left hand side, it will be 0. Right hand side, if you omit it, it means to the end of the string, to the end. So that's why you get all 3. Let's go back. You're starting from 2. That's here. This is a 2. So you do not give a number that means to the end. So the LPA. So that's what we got here. LPA. Okay. If you do not provide a value on the left hand side, starts from 0. Okay. Make sense? What? Do a little bit more. Find them out how many times the character appear in the string. You just use count. Okay. So if you come in here, you say you want to print out a count. What do you want it to count? Let's count air. Okay. And then let's print this out. And the result will be 1 because we only have an uppercase A in the string. So let me print it out. You say you get a 1, right? Okay. If you change this to A, and then now you run it. So what you get? You get a 3. So count will count how many occurrence it has. So if I put a here, so what will be printed out? Let me ask the class. If I do this, look at my screen. If I do that, what value will I got? Okay.
1.
I get a 1. Why?
Because there's only one AAA.
Yeah, you're correct. Yes, very good. Because it will just try to search how many occurrence of AAA. All right, so let's move on then.
I don't get 3. I only get 0.
Because you do not have AAA here, right? I changed my variable value here. So
No, for me, like I wrote down word.count A, and then I put 3 A's on the top, but it only gives me 0.
let me take a look at your code then.
Okay.
You still have that issue there. You say your variable is word, but you use count, you use word. Okay, let's move on then. Okay, so let me do a small quiz here. So let's select the correct output of the following string operation. So the string is welcome. Then now I print out the string 1. Okay, string 1 is welcome. I print out the string 1. I have no number here. I have the column here. I have 6. And then the plus py native. So can anyone tell me what will be the output? Okay, make sure, okay, there is a space here. Hunter, C, do you agree? So someone get a B. So what is the right answer? Okay, Alexia, what is the right answer?
B?
Why it is B? Can you tell me?
What do you mean, why?
You see, it will not be B, right? The reason is that you see I have a space here, but you see you do not have a space here. So B is not the right answer. Okay, Catherine.
C.
C, yes. So Hunt, you get the right answer. C is the right answer. And why it is C? The reason is that, okay, we did not put a value here. That means it's 0. Okay, Hunt, you can go ahead and explain it.
Since you didn't put a value in front of the colon,
You need to speak loud, or you need to, come closer to your microphone.
since is this better? Is this better? Can you hear me?
No, still just can barely hear you.
Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yeah, very good now.
Okay. So since you have nothing in front of the colon, then it's default 0, which means it starts at 0, but since 6 is behind the colon, it's excluding the 6th character. And so
That's
the
right.
sixth character in this case would be E.
Yeah, that's
The
right. So you
last
say,
character above.
yeah, last character is position 6 because we have 7 characters. So the position is 6. 6 is this one, but you put a 6 there, that means 6 is excluded. So you do not have E in it, but you do have the space here. So that's why C is the right answer. Okay. All right. Let's move on to next quiz. Select the correct output of the following string operation. Okay, this one is hard because I did not teach you this part. Okay, let me explain this one, okay? That means you start from this position to count. Start from this position. So that means the position 4. So this position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 should be here. Starting from position 4, okay? So count, if this is what you are going to count, you're starting from this position and then count. I do not want you guys to type in to your Python. Just read this, see what you get. Who can help me to get the answer? I have not asked Ryan to answer any questions so far. So Ryan, I want you to help me on this one.
With the first one,
I mean, which one is the right? So which choice you will do? You will pick. Yeah, then I wanted to ask Ryan for this one. Just
I just have a question.
yes.
On the first one,
I cannot hear you, Hunt. I'm sorry. Can you speak loud?
On the first one, it says STR. Is that an L or a 1?
It's an STR1.
Okay.
So you just, okay, this is STR1, this is STR1. This must match that one. If it doesn't match that one, we will have a problem because the variable is not defined.
when I try to do it, it's not working.
So do you want to share your screen to me?
Okay. It just tells me this when I put it in.
You missed the sub. What is a sub? The variable sub, right? You need to define it. So let me show you, okay? This is the code. So you missed this name. All right, so let me ask Elliot.
The answer is 6.
That's right, you're right, 6. Because you start from this position, so of course this match is not counted anymore. So you counted from this position on only 6. That's good. Very good. Okay, let's just do a little bit more. So Python string converted string to all uppercase or lowercase. Just use this. Okay. But one thing I want you to remember, what I want you to remember. Let's just do this, okay? So let's print out a, okay, let me change this back to help here. Word dot up, right? Right, so let me run it. You see this get output, right? So let me ask the class, what is word now? What is word? Sampling. What is word now? After I do this. Sampling.
Hear me?
I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay, hold on.
Is it all uppercase or all lowercase or what it is?
It is
Yes, Hunter.
It's all uppercase.
It's all uppercase. Okay, let me try that. Let me print out a word. All right, now let me run it. Uh-oh.
Wait, are you talking about the second print one?
I ask what a word is.
Oh, what word is?
Yep.
Wait. Sorry, I don't understand what you're saying.
Okay. So that means if you use upper or lower, you actually does not change the original variable value. You only create a new value. Okay, this is very important. Sometimes sometimes you think, okay, I would use word dot upper, and now I will take it for granted. I think word now is all uppercase.
Wait, if you do word dot lower, does that make all the letters lowercase?
That's what I wanted to ask you all. Try that if you use word dot lower. See what you get. So no matter what you do, okay, no matter what you do, you does not change the original value. And this is a very important concept. It's very hard to understand at this moment, but then I think in 2 weeks, we will come back. We will see a string is immutable. If you learn Java, that is the concept, and you need to spend at least 1 hour on it. Learn it, why it is immutable. And that's what I do in my class, to teach the students the string is immutable. You cannot change its value. But you may argue to me. Now, what do I mean you may argue to me? If I say word equal to word up, now I print out a word. Let's run it. You see now I got all uppercase, right? I changed its value. This is different. Actually, this means you assign a new string to word. It was this string. Now you assign a new string. You just point the variable to another value. So it store another value, like you have a box. So today you put a $10 in that box, but tomorrow you take that $10 out, and you put your iPhone in it, right? So now the box holds the iPhone. So you change its value already. Okay, you point it to a new value. So that's why now you store a new value to it. Before that, okay, if you print it out, okay, and you will see this is the camel case, okay. Even you use upper, you do not change it unless you assign a new value to it. Now it holds the new value now. Okay, it holds the new value. So this makes sense to you, right? So today we have learned, okay, the index value, positions. You have to know that. Keep that in your mind. The first character, the index value is 0. The last character, it's if we use a positive value, it's the length of the string -1. -1, okay? So that is the position for the last character. But for Python, you can use -1 to get the last character in that string. Remember that Also, we'll know what is a substring. When you use substring, you use the slice. If you do not provide a value on the left-hand side, 0 will be used. If you do not put the value to the right-hand side, that means from this position to the end of the string. Okay, and then we use the index. If the string exists in that string, then it will return the first occurrence of the index value. If that substring does not exist in the string, you get an error, right? And I see this is a skill or a technology or a tool. We use it to search for something. Let's say we have all the names of my class, and now I search for Thomas. I get an error because Thomas is not in the name, right? You say, why do I do that? I can remember it, okay? If I have 10 students, I can remember it. If I have 10,000 students, I cannot remember it, right? So you use the search to do it. So that is how the search works. And then you use count. You find out how many times a substring appear in the string. And also here we learn the upper and the lower case. Okay, so let's stop here and hope you all remember this. And also I want you guys to get used to this tool. We will use this for pretty much, I think, 4 more weeks, I believe, use this tool. And this use the Python provided by Google, and it's on the website, so it's easier to use. And I can also show you, this will store in your Google Drive. Let me show you. So I have that. If I go to my Google Drive now, and you will see I have the Untitled 2. So you can share this to your friends. If you do a lot of Python programming here, then you can share it to them so they can get it. Okay. All right. So that's all I have. Do you have any question? If no question, I wanted to return the class back to Miss He, and the next week we will come back to continue on Python string. And then I will have a homework for you. And that homework will be challenging, okay? All right?
Thank you, Dr. Yang. Yeah.
Is there homework today?
I really do not, because this is very simple. And if we like to do homework, I can I can find out some works for you guys to do, and then I will put it in the classroom. Okay.
That's fine. Everything's good. So thank you very much. If in case that you cannot attend the class, please have your parents to contact me ahead of time. Okay, so other than that, everything's fine. Thank you very much.